Welcome to Kenpo University. My name's Alan Babinek, and I'm your instructor. We're talking about snap kicks versus thrust kicks, all right? And really, it just has to do with where's your center of gravity, all right? So I think about this a couple different ways just to try to get it straight in my brain when I'm doing stuff. So I'm going to do it sideways. So I'm in my neutral. Guy's over here. It's, does your center of gravity go past your balance point, okay? Or, so it's how far forward does your center of gravity go? Or, it's easier to think about it to me, where are your hips, okay? If this hip, if I was kicking, if this hip doesn't pass up this hip, it's a snap kick, okay? If it passes it up, I'm doing a thrust kick. So, or if my center of gravity is going forward. So I'm going to show a few examples. So if I'm here and I'm kicking with the back leg, if this hip doesn't go past, I'm doing a snap kick. Okay? My center of gravity never went past my supporting leg. It went up to it and then came back. Okay? As soon as my center of gravity, if I give it a push, as soon as my center of gravity goes past my supporting leg, I'm going forward. That's pretty much going to be a thrust kick, okay? And it's not by accident. You're doing this on purpose. So we don't want any of these things to happen by accident, just to let you know. So if you think of like the space shuttle or a rocket or something like that, it's got thrust. It's got a lot of push behind it. So when I'm thinking about thrust, whether it's a thrusting sword hand, thrusting kick, whatever, I'm always thinking about push, push, push. You're trying to get the guy away from you, okay? So, because my center of gravity is like right behind your belly button, kind of, right? A little bit lower, but right around there. As soon as I throw my kick and I lean forward, or my center of gravity goes past that foot, then I'm doing a thrust kick. And by the way, it's much easier to do it on something instead of in the air like this. I don't know about you, I'd always rather kick people than stuff, you know? But if you're working with somebody and just push them away, so it doesn't necessarily mean it has to be super hard, it just means it has to go forward. So, and if I was using my front foot, I'm just going to turn to face this way. If I was using this foot, I'm balancing, my center of gravity is pretty close and I'm falling forward a little bit, okay? So because you never really want to balance and throw a kick, you always want to be leaning into it, okay? So if I'm throwing a snap kick, I'm always falling forward. I'm never going, oh, I'll balance and kick, because if I do that, I'm probably going to knock myself backwards, right? So you always have to leave that leeway for your snap kicks in there. But if I did come back, I could definitely push more than snap. So the snap, I can control where my foot's landing. If I push, I'm going to go a little bit more forward, okay? Usually. All right? Now again, if you're kicking somebody, you might be able to bounce back off that. This is where, hopefully this is going to make a whole lot of sense now. You can turn a snap kick into a thrust kick, all right? But you can't turn a thrust kick into a snap kick. And it's because once your center of gravity goes kind of like too far forward, or you've got some momentum behind you, you can't pull that back. Again, if you're kicking somebody or bouncing off them, that's one thing, but that doesn't change what we're talking about, all right? So if I was going, I'm going this way again. So if I'm using my back leg, I could do a snap kick, and I could turn it into a thrust with just pushing, okay? But once I do a thrust, if I'm already pushing, I can't pull that back and put my foot back where I found it. Once my center of gravity passes my supporting leg, that's the point of no return, and you can't pull it back into a snap. Hopefully that makes sense, okay? So you can turn a snap kick into a thrust kick because you can always go further. But you can't turn a thrust kick into a snap kick because you've gone too far. Thank you for watching this video production from Kenpo University.